interviewed D-Block Dash on the PlayStation 4 about 2K18 for YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. It's called Chris Dash. Sub to that. He does DC Universe YouTube videos. He also trying to expand the 2K18. He did 17 videos last year. They were pretty good. He edits them, so he's not like me. But I might edit this video. This one I want to do live, so like you hear the mistakes, so I know it's real. And then I'll do like a part 2, but it'll be the same video. I'll just edit it. Alright, so let's hop into this interview, bro. So, D-Block, what's your real name?
My real name is Chris. Nice to meet you guys. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Alright, so, bro, this is nigga ain't black, but, or he moving. Alright, so, Chris, how you feel about 2K18's My Career?
2K18 My Career is a very well experience where you get to see a new type of dynamic feel with positions from the point guard to the center, like every other 2K game that you already have played. The one thing that they made about this game more clearly, activating your phone, getting endorsement deals, working on your player, likewise the boosting, and a lot of other things. But for the career part, I like what they have to offer with the scene cuts, the press conference after game work, and some more other, you know, in-depth thing. If you do not have the game, please cop it. It's worth buying for a basketball game.
Alright, so how do you feel about I think you took a picture. How do you feel about the halftime show?
With the halftime show, they're looking a little bit more better. The cheerleaders are, you know, doing what they got to do every game. You know, celebrate for the team, no matter win or loss. If you're up or down, they get the crowd involved. You can see the difference between the crowd giving back the vibe in the room where you're winning and compared to where you're losing. But you know, the halftime show is always pretty much something to watch. If you do not like clicking always X towards, you know, fast forwarding to the game.
Alright, so we got one viewer, but so when it comes to the game, right, you know how they changed the badge system, so you can't just get it on bronze and then buy it, upgrade it gold. How do you feel about that?
It just shows you that you have to put a lot more work into your character as a whole towards every part of the game in Pro-Am, My Career, or the park. And if you like to do the little extra stuff, go to the facility, do the training, and work outside of the game to actually, you know, get other things to work for you. But for the most part, I think of it as a stepping stone. But yeah, the fast track was pretty good and neat, to get those badges from bronze to gold if you had the cash in your VC pouch where you can actually use them to your advantage. It's just very much difficult to see yourself work yourself up and not be consistent. If you're not consistent, you won't see results.
Alright, that's a fact. Alright, so when it comes to VC, and it costs like almost 200,000 VC to upgrade your player, and that's just to get up to like an 86 overall. But like clothes is pretty expensive. How do you think kids will react to this game not being able to buy VC?
You can see the difference with a lot of people who play this game. You can tell if it's a child playing the game or an adult who's making some type of money, stationary cash, to actually upgrade their character from when you were playing it from day one. If you have never got your hands on a $20 bill or a $30 bill or $40 bill to actually upgrade your character, you would know that, you know, working your way up, you appreciate your character way much more. When you buy your way, you tend to realize when you do it, everything comes so much easier and so much better. But when you work yourself from the bottom and understand that all the baskets that you scored and finding little ways that you score baskets and be easy, and then when you upgrade your character to see how easy it is, you're gonna see a big change with finishing around the basket, dunking the ball, taking contact, shooting a three-pointer, and all those things just tend to open up for you.
Alright, alright. So, when it comes to overalls, right, as your player, as you upgrade them, you unlock new things. How do you think that's realistic?
As realistic as the game puts it, they put you in a position to get these certain things. So, difficult shot is one of the shots that I'm going to be getting on purple, and they will consider me to take shots in people's faces, fadeaway jump shots, contested layups, and doing things like that on those such parts in the game style of, you know, slashing to the rim or getting open to the basket. So those things will show you in general in real life basketball or even anything else. When you see a character like James Harden, or you see a person like Kobe Bryant going to the rack and shooting in people's faces, and creating their jump shots off of dribble moves and penetrating to the rim and getting contested jump shots, you see the difficulty of how they're getting their shots off. It's not open, it's really much the person's right there, and literally you really can't stop it if it goes in. It just means it's better offense than better defense.
Alright, that is a fact. She's in your body. Alright, so that is a fact. I do like the fact that they added contested shots. It makes the game a lot more realistic, because you have players like Stephen Curry on 2K17. He wasn't making a shot contested at all, but in real life he would probably made it, as you think about
Yes.
it. And in my career, like, you have to grind for badges like deep range dada if you want to make heavily contested shots more often, right? So
For a pure shooter.
how do you feel about being able to make contested shots, but contested layups and dunks a lot more difficult?
I would say that because my build is really really in height, because it is a advantage for me because I'm 6'9" as a character in 2K. I really look into height in a game because of the fact that when you don't have height towards a big man in the paint, like going against a Dwight Howard or a Shaquille O'Neal or a Kenny Mutombo, someone above those ranges, maybe, you know, a Yao Ming, it is so hard for you to get a layup on those guys. Like, you literally have to be very tricky and very much use a Euro step or things that might get you a foul to the rack and, you know, make the shot with an and one or something like that, because your height will declare how easy the basket comes towards you or the ball can go into the rim. So for difficult shots, it's not really easy. It's one of those badges you're gonna have to work. I know that when you get on silver, it's gonna cost you 72,000 experience points towards your difficulty to get to gold. I'm right now striving to get gold right now, but I am right now falling back because I had a situation with the game and 2K was not able to help me. But what they told me was I have to progress and decrease my negative to a positive, and then I will move back into the positive again. So I'm gonna work on that, but for the most part, all of it in general, man, if you are working on a position, it will show you certain things that you are looking for as a badge, and you will do those drills, and those same drills that you do will be the same ones you do in game, off game, in the park, to get these badges to where you want them to be in the long run.
Alright, so you haven't gotten really deep into my career, which you expressed in the beginning of the interview, but how do you feel about the forced cutscenes throughout the gameplay of my career? Because some people feel like
Is it when you're talking about when you're going to the endorsement deals and you're talking to players and they see how you're doing in the game and going to the barber or going to the studio? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about, like, in general, like, kind of like the whole Shammy Wells being a veteran, and like the barbershop, and like the small little cutscenes that you can't really skip but have to like sit there for a good 2 minutes and watch it.
I would say that Shami right now, through my season that I've been playing in career mode, he has been a help. But from the most part that I've been looking at, as in the scene cuts, he has a lot of emotion towards telling players or letting players know that even if you score 27 points and you lose, the whole team loses no matter how much you score. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he basically strives on those. He likewise lets you know about the bodyguard who watches over the teammates that walk into the locker room, and he talks about, you know, the relationship that him and Shami have together. And you know, you have to build up a relationship, meaning you have to be consistent in doing something to get a relationship with that person. And basically in the long term, uh you know, the girl who is one of your managers, who has assistant, who has that guy who's an assistant, he lets you know about certain things that you're going. Likewise, you have Ronnie, who lets you know about the updates about the stats that you are going through,
Uh
and
huh.
letting you know what kind of player you are looking like in the game, so he can let you and inform you that you're doing really good, and this can make you get more fans, or this can be your higher percentage of doing this if you do this more.
Right.
So, but Shami, like, I really would say that he really doesn't get too much love on the team, but he is my best 3-point shooter on the team and in the NBA right now. And like anything else, like last year when you used to play with another gentleman who was, you know, a very shorter person, but you know, Shami's a little bit taller. He's like probably like 6'6" or 6'5" or 6'7", you know what I mean, in that range. But yeah, Shami's a very good shooter, and he's a very good mentor. And he doesn't get too much playing time love, but he's there. He's been there. He's been in the NBA for a very long time.
Right. 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 All right. So how exactly do you feel about purchasing stuff in 2K? Do you feel like it's too expensive?
Purchasing stuff in NBA 2K is pretty good this year because of the fact that people come up with different styles, and they come up with the most like crazy ideas, meaning like
Are you talking about
the
the
ideas you
custom
can get with
T-shirts?
t-shirts. Yes, the custom t-shirts in NBA 2K um 18. You get custom t-shirts. You can get branded swag from Gucci to Louis to Supreme to BB Ball. If you know that, if Big Baller brand, you get a lot of stuff. Nike, you get a lot of stuff from what the viewers like to see, what you like to put on a t-shirt. And if these t-shirts were ever real life t-shirts, a lot of people will be going out their ways and buying these t-shirts. So letting you know right now, it's pretty legit. It's like really good.
All right, that's a fact. It's a fact. So you really like the custom stuff and things like that. But whoa, how do you feel about the changes that they made from 17 to 18? Like which would you say are the pros and cons between the two?
The pros and cons in this game is, if you really seen how the body language in the game, they took out certain things about this game. You know, one thing that I have not seen yet was the jump lunge. If you know what a jump lunge is, it's called when you are trying to dive for a ball, you're not really diving on the ground. It's like a mid in between. You're not really jumping as high in the air. You are jumping towards, you know, grabbing the ball. They don't let you do that. It's like even if you point it in that direction, they make you dive on the floor or jump in the mid-air. There's certain things with body contact that they really talk about in the game that are, you know, 2K cheese. But if you will see them, you will see them. I would like to let you know what kind of 2K cheese it has in the game. Um, but they kept some of the moves, and they still added on top and took some out. So just to let you know that they actually have done something. But if you are going anywhere, likewise, go on the internet, go look for NBA 2K cheeses. Because if you do that, then you could see the body language on what previous 2K games used to do, with body contact, you know, and certain moves. They don't have the same thing. Like where the pump fake, you could have pump fake, and then get someone in the air, and then get a 4-point play, like a 3-point play with a 4-point play. You know what I mean? Hit the 3-pointer and make a free throw shot. When you do that now, you can get travel. You can get called for travel, and doing all those little things. So, you know, take your time and go and look on that on the internet. It might help you.
Alright, that's a fact. Um, so when it comes to how players move around on the court, do you see any difference between 17 and 18 as far as setting screens and shooting goes?
Um, this game has always been around, the big man and the small guy working the pick and roll. The pick and roll is very, very famous in NBA 2K. The pick and pop and the pick and fade, or you might call it, yeah, the pick and fade or the pick and roll. So you have many variety when you're working with a point guard who knows what he's doing on that sense, because if you set him a screen and he sees that the defender has not committed to him, he can attack the basket or he can official take a jump shot, get space and take a jump shot. If he has the other guy is smart in the NBA 2K, he can close out you from your shot or three or your drive, and the big man can roll to the basket, and you can actually throw a pass in between defenders, or you can likewise give him the pass towards the 3-point line, so it doesn't feel like you're throwing it towards three defenders who are trying to block you with wingspans that are so big that any ball that you throw is going to be stolen. And you could throw it to the wing, and then you can make him shoot a J if he can shoot a J, or because sometimes if he can't shoot the J, he can throw a pump fake up and see if the defender shoot and goes for it and attack the basket like a athletic finisher. But yeah, the game has been really good with the pick and pop and the pick and fade and the pick and roll.
Alright, how do you feel about the change of shot meter?
The shot meter, they give you the options where you can actually change the colors this year, to make it a little bit more closer to your playing color style or theme, meaning your team. They have not added all the colors in the color list into the color circle of every shade, but they give you some varieties where you can choose from the previous 2Ks. You couldn't look at that. The shot meter is one of those things where you got to look at your feet, your shot, and your waist, because it really breaks it down to a very T point where you got to really look into all those characteristics in your character, and you will find out your best shot. So that meter is just declaring on how you might make the shot, what color it looked like where you were fall through, but your body language is what you're looking at. When you have your body language down pat, you basically are knowing that you're gonna make that shot.
Right. So when you're kind of at like a disadvantage in a game, what do you feel like is the best strategy when it comes to balancing your defense and offense in a part game?
For defense and offense, that's a really good question. I like that one. The ups and downs about it. People who do not know about spacing on defense, if the offensive team is actually spacing the court, you have so much lane space. You need space in this game. You want to have open jump shots, non-contested jump shots, and likewise people who are cutting towards the basket who have lanes for everyone to work properly. And the game, if you are playing with people who understand how to use their roles properly, like a slasher, if a slasher has a lane, all he needs to do is a couple moves and he can get past his defender, and then you can throw him the ball and attack the rim, and it could be a foul or he could be making the basket. But the scary part about this game, like you went back on the other one, the 2K cheese, when you are cocking back the ball, throwing it back like Derrick Rose on Dragic, you can get blocked in this game a lot.
That's a fact.
But the pro cons is just spacing. You need spacing to do everything in this game.
Alright, so personally I feel like size has a lot to do with the way you should play offense and defense, but how do you feel like off-ball movement is stressed a lot more in 18 than 17?
Off-ball movement,
like as in like
they really
moving off the ball, and like if you want to set someone up for a pass and they just stand still, their defenders are easily going to pick off that pass. So off-ball movement can be found important because you can't just stay in one spot and expect that person to do good when it comes to spacing the floor.
Correct. I would say that if you bought a PlayStation 4, it came with a mic. Understand me when you are, someone who is not knowledgeable about the game, but understand the controls. All you need to do is understand the controls. You don't have to be the most smartest person in this game. As long as you know the controls, it can work to your advantage. Talking and communicating is one thing is very important. If you do not know how to communicate with your peers who you're playing with, it's going to make it difficult for you as a person to understand what you can do for another person to help your game out. I had a moment in a real life pickup basketball game on a 3-on-3, and basically I was only the one who was, basically not getting screens. I was screening other people and I was not getting screens.
Mhm.
Another gentleman picked me up on his team and knew that I could play through screens. I know how to work with a screen. He said he was going to set me some screens. He did. I made those shots count just the way he told me he was going to set me screens. Communication with off ball, sending your teammates a screen to cut to the basket is always so good, because when you have a team that does not communicate with each other, remember that means they're less in chemistry. Their chemistry is not blooming. They're
That's a
not
fact.
they're not understanding each other. They're just playing the game.
All right, that kind of leads me into another question. How do you feel that surrounding yourselves with a teammate that works with you? How do you think that can be important?
Can you repeat?
So, if you want to play with a certain person, but that person doesn't work well with others, how do you think that can affect the team?
In my career?
Uh, any situation really, because like if you want to play with a certain person, but you know they don't work well with that certain guy, because that certain guy's play style goes against what they want to do, and it doesn't balance out the team. How do you think that affects the team?
It can be very effective because it can take away from your game and it can take away from his game, and that means those are buckets that you would usually make. You would have to sacrifice something for someone. And it could be, giving up a lane, not being able to read, giving him his space, and being trapped in a corner, and making him do what he needs to do. But you really don't know if he could make that basket. You're hoping that he's gonna make that basket, but it could take away from both of your games. That's why communication is always key. So before games, you might be like, do you want to shoot the ball more? Are you a driver? Are you a slasher? Are you someone who likes to attack the basket? Do you like screens? Can you get free by yourself? Are you a handle guy, or like would you rather rebound and put it back up, and would you rather kick it out? Are you someone, because when you know these certain things, you're clicking buttons before they even make the move, because you know that it's gonna come to you like that. You know what I mean? So it's just all in one motion when you're
Hmm?
when you're already before you get the ball. So it
Next
just
one.
feels like you have that connection, instant connection with it. It's like a phone call, without the phone.
No, I was laughing
Yeah.
because the Knicks just beat the Thunder,
Wow.
and it was Carmelo's first game back in New York.
Wow. And he was getting at Paul George that first day when he got his team Indiana Pacers beat them, and Paul George didn't have a really good breakout game over there too, and Melo was like laughing, or he was like wow, that's what you did. So yeah, yeah, that's how it works, man. Talk now, feel later.
Um, what do you think about the? Oh, I just forgot. You see, how do you think that affects the game? Being able to purchase
Playing
VC.
another game.
Yeah, if you're able to purchase VC and another person isn't, how do you think that affects the game?
Um, Purchasing VC is an investment towards the company in 2K, where they can do more with, software and other things on that part. Should I get up and talk to you on the court?
I mean, if you want, I just got bored of sitting down. Oh, I made that. Let's go. Want to play a game?
Yeah, purchasing VCs helps out the company evolve and work on different other innovation things that they might bring to the game. And likewise, that penny will go towards, you know, the new technology that they need to make. Are you sitting down now?
Nah, I'm about to start the game.
Okay. It just helps them add new things towards the game, like just in general, like different branding.
How do you feel about jump shot creator and how you only unlock it at 75 overall?
Shot creator?
Yeah, jump shot creator. Oh yeah, that.
I'm not too sure about that.
What about the different archetypes? How do you think that affects a team in Pro-Am?
Like actually creating your shot?
Yeah, I got like new builds and new ways, and you have to guard the player different because of their different builds.
I think it's something else because like one thing about it, I always had a problem with stretch bigs, and stretch bigs used to be a big problem in the sense of towards guys who are big men who are just traditional in the paint, mid-range, because they can stretch the floor and they can still be able to do some more stuff around the basket. It's just that these arcing types, like, you know what I mean, like I was first starting, I thought that my build was bad. Shot creator and sharpshooter was gonna be a bad mix. I thought it was gonna be a very bad mix. But at the end of the day, a lot of people were like, you know, they were writing it and saying it was gonna be one of the best builds in the game. You know what I mean? Like one of the best builds in the game. And they really said like it was gonna be tough to beat that one if they know how to do, you know, use what they use. And slashing to the rim is very good. I have a good ball handling. I have likewise a good lateral defense, quickness, layups, three-point shots, and my dunking is pretty good, but I am not really able to dunk on like body contact dunk-ons like a slasher would, but
So
yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
As far as contact dunks,
My three-point shot is like 80, 83 or 84.
So
mid-range is 95.
the hell?
Layups is 90. Speed is probably 86. Lateral defense is probably 79. Dribbling is probably like 79.
Wait, did you leave?
So like, huh?
Did you leave the court?
No, I'm still beside you right now. Like I'm just looking at the balls and you standing at the rack.
What the fuck?
But a lot of things are very much okay with it in you know, the shot builds or the arcing types. Another one that made it to the top was a sharpshooter and a playmaker. Made it to the top. There was a gentleman who made it to the top first, and he was notified and noticed for what he did. And he made it through a sharpshooter and playmaker, someone who has a handle and able to break down defenders and still be able to create so much space that his shot would be so good to get a shot off. And you know, building two type of styles give you two type of feel. If you make one pure side, you will see a much more bigger difference towards badges, and when you get to a certain point, you get more purples than more silvers than more gold, depending on what you look on for. Like a sharpshooter will have a 3-point on purple, corner on purple, probably shot difficulty on purple, like a lot of things, you know what I mean, stuff involved into it. Or you might have athletic finisher who is able to dunk on everybody with a body contact. Pick and roll, probably purple, things like that. But I'm talking out of emphasis in the game. But or you might have a defender who has so much defense that he can lock down. The lockdown turns into purple, that if he bumps into you or even gets close to touching the ball, the ball will fumble out your hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just have to play towards the style that you really want to do to like advance in this game. Yeah. Try some builds. They have some slots for you to actually try some builds and try some characters out. And you just gotta play around with it and see how it fits into your game playing style.
Alright, I'm gonna go play Pro-Am now.
Alright, sounds good. I'm really interested in doing that. So, about this 2K E-League.
Alright, this is gonna finish off the interview. We're about to go and play Pro-Am. So that one guy that just joined the live stream, bro, we're gonna take a W in your name. Yo, comment your name, bro. Comment what it is, what it's about. Alright, I get the street. Do I gotta send you an invite to the park, or are you coming with me to the street?
Yo, you send me an invite first so we can both leave at the same time.
I already started leaving. Is it gonna kick you out, or is it gonna bring you outside with me? We gotta see what happens. I'm gonna play your music. Yo, if I get copyrighted for this elevator music.
So how did you think about that interview?
I mean, I feel like it went well. Showed like personal opinions on certain things.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. That was nice. I like the questions. I thought you were gonna ask me like, how would you earn VCs to make yourself get more VCs in the game if you didn't have the money to buy them? I thought you were gonna ask me that for a second.
What?
Like for the people who wanted to know how to get more VCs.
Yeah. Probably gonna ask you that.
What would they have to do to like get more VCs and still be able to play the game and have fun?
Alright, I'm sending you the invite.
Alright, I just received it.
What the fuck? You joined it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back. Go bust open this candle, like that.
So I made it in here.
I'm back, bro.
Yep, me too. Right be here.
They got Kyrie Fords in this game now.
Yo, did you send me a group invite with squad? So we don't mess up and go phases?
No, I didn't.
Alright, I'm here.
Alright, let's go to the party. Robin, Bucks. You sponsored by Mountain Dew?
No. Adidas wants me.
Who you gonna sign with as far as shoes go?
I'm really looking towards doing it with Jordan because I'm on the New Orleans Hornets.
You wanna wear 8s?
Yeah, but I'm not signing a contract yet.
Yeah, I was thinking about who to sign with. It took me a while. Yeah.
Yo, boost your guy. Get boosters.
You just disappeared.
No, I'm still here with you.
Oh yeah, you're right next to me now.
Hey Eric, what is it today? Well, according to my brother, it's 689 days until the world ends and is replaced with an exact copy of this one.
When you're
How
ready.
do you even know? Why would anyone need to know? Right, because it'd be the same thing. Right, because it'd be the same thing. We just said the same thing. We just said the same thing.
What happened to you? I think you
What is
disappeared.
it today? According to my brother, it's 689 days until the world ends
What the fuck?
and is replaced with an exact copy
I'm
of
in an
this.
animation, bro.
How would you even know? Why would anyone need to know? Right, because it'd be the same thing. Right, because it'd be the same thing. We just said the same thing. We just said the same thing.
Think about that.
Okay then, here you go. Thanks, Eric.
Alright, he just gave me my boost. It's taking forever. Alright. Taking forever to give me my boost.
You can't join your friend at this time. It says something about I can't join you. I don't know why.
Aren't you joining? Aren't you playing with me?
Okay, they put me in a scene cut. Yo, leave. Come out.
Want me to come out? Alright. Oh, it's not feeling to let me leave. I'm just gonna close that.